IDCA, the International Data Center Authority, is really critically important in today's digital economy. It sets the standards, the agenda, the platforms, and the perspective of what needs to be done in the digital economy and advanced data centers. We are seeing probably the most massive transformation of AI that I have seen in my lifetime. Some of the reports indicate close on Agentic AI, which is an element of AI, by 2029, 2030, about $169 billion being committed to the space in terms of revenue. It's going to change every industry, every market, every city, every state, every country. If you are not investing in AI, and if you don't have the right path, if you're confused, if you don't have the right architecture and approach, you're going to be left behind, you're going to be a laggard. You want to lead this place, and I think it's important to work and collaborate with IDCA to make this possible. IDCA, being a leading organization around the world, it's critically important to have a group which has neutrality, which is agnostic, which has a think tank associated, which provides global solutions, which has a global ecosystem. And in today's markets, there's a lot of unknowns and there's lots of complexity, especially we're dealing with AI. Complexity is too wide and it's too deep. And there's no organization in the world, there's no consultancy, there's no advisory that could provide this type of consultation, that provide this type of a solution and look at the overall framework. IDCA is looking, again, from the certain lenses that no one has. This perspective is very unique, and this perspective addresses specifically on what's happening in the world of AI. The world of AI right now is being transformed. We started with this moment in 2022 where ChatGPT came in. It was the early moment, but now in the moment where global companies and governments are figuring out their next strategy, their organizations, they're figuring out the next move, how they're going to power their countries, how they're going to power their economies using AI. They are figuring out that advanced compute is really required. They're also figuring out that it's not only advanced compute, that they need a lot of the AI capabilities and AI skill sets and AI platforms. And so IDCA, in my opinion, is the one that could decipher. There's a lot of noise, but there's a lot of good things in this marketplace, and IDCA is in a great position to decipher what's going on, to address the issues of human-centric AI, to address the issues of agentic AI, to address the issues of AGI, to figure out how AI is converging on the cognitive plumbing with the data centers. What are those technology stacks that are required? What are those organizational things? What about the management? What about the monitoring or orchestration? Storage and capabilities, all of that requires AI, and IDCA is taking it by storm by providing AI first and digital first solutions in the marketplace, addressing this spectacular shift that we're seeing. Actually, I call it a seismic shift from traditional technology services where infrastructure was really also required to knowledge economy to now agent economy. And it is something that IDCA does very well and is thinking about this strategic roadmap, which is changing the direction, or at least guiding the direction of different countries. There's no time to waste. You have to act very quickly right now, because we're in this view right now, 2025, 2026, where everything is transforming, everything is changing. And if you don't become digital first or AI first, you're going to lose ground and you will not be a leader. The digital economy is what's driving the world. The digital economy has a lot of subsegments. Digital economy has the human capital, the infrastructure, the standards. It has an element of cognitive economy built in, which is AI first economy. And digital economy is what's going to be driving the next generation of trade, the next generation of capabilities, skills, know-how, products and services throughout the world. You really cannot conduct business if you are not part of the digital economy, and that's what we're building. I'm very fortunate to be the AI champion and AI leader at IDCA, and we are making the steps to create a roadmap, to create a strategy, and create a vision to support everything in the technology stack that is critically important for the data centers. And so we're leading it from a point of view of being differentiated and innovative in terms of our data stack. The world right now, today, where intelligence and cognition is key, you need to make sure that you have a strong, unbiased, agnostic group of experts and leaders who have built companies, who know how to build infrastructure technology, who know how to scale, and who have all the standards and access to all different types of technologies. You need it under one roof, and this is why it's important. So you don't necessarily want to go in with unproven consultants or advisors. You want to have one entity that delivers and provides value. IDCA has a neutral tone, and IDCA is very much focused on thought leadership, on setting this neutral agenda, following the guidelines and following the best practices. And the rest of the industry, what we're seeing, is not very agnostic, but IDCA is. And the world needs a group, or an agency, a company like IDCA that really sets the standards and a new pathway forward, because we're getting different voices and we need one unified voice. IDCA works very closely on the government and ministerial levels as they develop the national digital policy or national AI strategy. It gets involved to understand the key stakeholders, the human policy, the infrastructure policy, and make sure that it provides the latest trends and information into the policy. We're leading the global standardization by working with a number of committees across the world. We understand what are the leading standards in infrastructure, in technology and security. We work with all of them. We also have our consultants and advisors that are participating in major working sessions. And so we are picking up on all the leading standards. IDCA uses the latest trends. It has access to libraries. It has access to expertise. It also has access to various AI systems. It also spends the time on the country level and on enterprise level, so it has the latest data. IDCA certification means a seal of approval. It means that passed the rigorous testing, and now you're ready to put this in the real world. Now you know that all the systems, from cognitive plumbing and on the technology stack and data centers, everything will work jointly together, and you're not going to face problems as you scale the system and continue to work on advanced compute. You need an entity worldwide. You need an entity that actually has one-stop shop, integrated approach. And I think it's very important because you're getting practitioners, you're getting expertise, and you're getting this unified end-to-end training, which is very important. Digital economy is transforming this planet. This planet used to run on physical assets, and in many cases it still does. But the business is now run digitally. We see the biggest investment and the biggest opportunities in digital companies. The digital companies like Google and Microsoft and others are digital, and they provide digital services and solutions. And this is why it's critical to make sure that we are in line with those types of companies, those standards, and the process going forward. We're leading it because we are pioneering it. We have a large community. We have access to a lot of tools. We have a lot of access to best practices. And we are the ones who are setting the standards. We're actually setting the pathway. At IDCA, we review and we look at all different components that make up the data factory or the advanced data center. So it's critically important. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on cooling technology, the two-phase cooling, and other things that are coming on the market. You don't want to miss out on agentic technologies, which are going to be monitoring and maintaining and providing predictive maintenance for advanced data centers. Critically important. When you look at the global picture and the way AI changes, IDCA could decipher all of that noise and bring some order from this chaos. And I think that's really important. The infrastructure is a pivotal component, and this is why we're seeing massive investments across the United States. People are investing. The investors are putting in capital in setting the next stage of infrastructure in place that will provide that level of advanced compute. Not only that will happen in homes across the United States and around the world, but companies, more and more companies are using algorithmic things. They're using advanced AI to solve problems. They're going to be using things on action. They are doing things on workflow. And in order to do that, you have to have the right technology stack, you have to have the right fundamentals, you have to have the right library, and you have to have the right people, and you also have to have the right level of security. All of the technology that needs to be selected is complicated stuff, and we need to make sure that we understand and we unbundle this for our clients, for governments, and our ecosystem around the world. And only then we'll be able to provide unique, personalized solution Not only that is advanced data centers, but advanced data centers don't work in silos. They work together with capabilities, software and capabilities that the governments are including. But more importantly, how are we going to focus on people? What are we going to do in terms of people, and what are we going to do in terms of the overall ecosystem? How are we going to grow the ecosystem to the next level in many of the countries? Are they going to be stuck where they are today on the same level of maturity, or are they going to advance to the next level of maturity? And if they do advance, what are the AI components that are going to drive this? What components are we going to get from middleware, orchestration? What components are we going to get from security? What components are we going to get from advanced AI or agentic AI? All of that has to be taken account, and IDCA is the place to decipher and making sure that we have the right, positive, scalable solution for the world's markets. IDCA is in a very central position. Private equity companies, sovereign funds across the world, family offices are taking very seriously to invest in infrastructure. They understand that if our global economy is going to be run by AI, and AI first, they have to invest very heavily. And this investment cannot be just hodgepodge. It has to be modularized. It has to be built on certain blocks. So the investments are already happening at a massive scale. We've already seen it with SoftBank, for example, Masa Son making major commitments, Larry Ellison making major commitments, OpenAI, Microsoft committing $60 to $80 billion, Google as well, and countries around the world. But in order to make those investments, you have to, again, have certain standards, you have to have a roadmap, you have to conduct due diligence, and you need the right partner to make sure that you plan things properly. You need a strategy, you need architecture. Before jumping to investments, you need to make sure that you have a fundamental knowledge and architecture that would handle this not only now, but when you upsize and you upskill and you upscale to the next level of investments down the line. I'm fortunate enough to work with IDCA team members. They're all highly skilled, highly qualified, with tremendous experience, knowledge, not only in the United States, but across the world, and have excellent reputation and preferences. IDCA is committed to create a better world for all of us through empowering and making sure that we have the latest technologies. Technologies are enabling us the advanced compute that is able to solve the greatest problems and challenges around the world.